Hello everyone, you've caught me at lunchtime. I'm just about to make some lunch. I wonder if you could make something like this. I sometimes have a sandwich, I sometimes have a roll, but today I'm having a wrap and I wonder if you would like to make one like me and maybe tell me what you put in yours. Now I'm going to just cut as if it's in the middle and cut a bit there like that, so it's got a fold. Did you see what I did? I went to roughly where the middle is. And now I'm going to put my favourite things in. So my first thing I'm going to put in is tomato puree. And I'm going to imagine like little quarters. So think about a clock face. So this one is going to go on here. Oh, don't know what you would put in yours. You could have a sweet one if you wanted to. You could have chocolate spread and peanut butter, maybe some marshmallows. That would be good fun, wouldn't it? So there's my tomato puree. Then I'm going to put some green stuff because that's good for me. So I'm just going to rip up some baby spinach. You don't have to put this in if you don't like that kind of thing, but maybe you could put some tomato or something else in. I'm going to put, oh, if I can open the bag of cheese, I'm going to put some cheese in this quarter. It's looking colourful, isn't it, already? Almost like a flat pizza. I wonder what else you would have in your pizza. I'm going to put some ham. Maybe you would want to put some bacon or some cheese or more cheese. Tuna. Anything. Let's put the ham right. Now this is the fun bit. Okay, are you ready for this? Right. I'm going to fold that bit up to there. That bit up to there, and then that bit over to there. Look at that. Now I could just eat it like that, but I'm going to do something even better. I'm going to put the whole one, and this is where you need some help with Mummy and Daddy, and I'm just going to put that like that down there, and I'm going to cook it. And I'll come back later when it's nearly done. I've had it in just for a minute or two and I can see that it's started to cook. So I'm just going to put this in and flip it over. And as you can see, listen, started to bake. Now I'm going to hold this down now a little bit, just so that it all starts to melt. And I don't know if you can see, but the cheese is starting to melt inside. Oh, do you wish you had smelly vision and you could smell that? Oh, it's going to taste amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just keep an eye on the bottom so it doesn't cook. I'm just going to flip it one more time. There we go. And I'll get a plate out. And here we go. There we are. How does that look? Right. I'm going to go and have my lunch now, and then I'll come back and tell you how it was and a little bit of a story today about somebody who ate something and their packed lunch that they had. Wonder if you can guess which story it's going to be today. See you in a minute. Hello again. Oh, that was delicious. I wonder what you're going to make for your lunch today. There was a little boy in the Bible, we don't know his name, but he had a lunch that was in a little basket, we probably think, and his mummy would have packed it for him. And he would have had something a little bit like this. He would have had 2 little fish and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little bread rolls. And his mum would have packed that up for him, and he was going out for the day because he had heard that Jesus was telling more stories and he wanted to hear what Jesus had to say. So he took his packed lunch and he went and followed the crowd to find Jesus. Now, Jesus had been very, very tired. He'd been working just before that and doing lots of miracles. And he was in the boat. And the disciples knew that he was tired and they tried to let him have some rest. But the people just wanted to keep hearing Jesus and finding out more and being with him. And this little boy with his packed lunch was one of those. And they followed, and the crowd got bigger and bigger and bigger, until the Bible tells us that there were 5,000 men following Jesus and wanting to hear what he had to say. And they all sat down to listen to Jesus, and Jesus started telling them all about his heavenly Father, telling them about how they should live, telling them all sorts of things. And I reckon that little boy knew that his tummy was starting to rumble, because Jesus had been talking for so long, and everybody's tummy started to rumble. And one of Jesus's friends said, "How are we going to feed all these people? They're hungry. They need to go home, Jesus. You're tired." And Jesus turned around and said, "No, you feed them." He said, "We can't feed this many. It's 5,000 or more. What are we going to do?" And the next thing we read in the Bible is the little boy with his packed lunch came up to Jesus' friend and said, "I've got some food. Would Jesus like it?" And here we are, look, in our Bible. Here's the little boy offering Jesus his food, his 2 little loaves and 2 little fish and 5 loaves. Well, 5,000 people. I think if I ate that, I could share it with one person and they would be fairly hungry. But Jesus said, "Thank you." And he took the packed lunch and he took one of the pieces of bread out and he held it up and he said, "God, thank you for this food." And then he broke the bread and some fish and gave it to some of the disciples and said, "Right, you go and feed that little group. You feed that little group." He'd asked them to sit into groups of 50. That's still a lot of people. "You go and feed that little group." And so all the people got fed just from this little packed lunch. And when the time came for everybody to go, Jesus said, "Right, we must clear up all the mess. Now go and collect all the bits of leftover." Do you know, they cleared up 12 baskets full of just the leftovers. So everybody had more than enough to eat. And Jesus knew that not only did they need to be fed into their mind with the good stories and the truth about Jesus and how much he loves us, but they needed to have their tummies fed as well. And that's one of the amazing miracles that Jesus did. He did so many other things. He could walk on water. He brought people back to life. He healed people. But we're thinking of that story today, partly because we've been thinking about tasting things, but partly because it was a little boy. And all of this half term, we've been thinking about children who made a difference in the Bible. And today's little boy shared everything that he had. It's all he had. But he was willing to give it to Jesus to use. And I wonder what we can share. I wonder what we can give to Jesus to use. It might not be something physical, like a packed lunch, because obviously that's not needed now. But maybe we could give him our talents. Maybe we could give him our time. Maybe we're good at something and we can help somebody else. It'd be lovely to think about those things this week. And if you're free on Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday, come and join us in the Zoom. We're going to be thinking about tasting things, but we're going to be thinking about what we can share and how we can help each other. Let's just pray. Jesus, we thank you for this little boy. We thank you that he was so willing to share his small packed lunch with you, and you did amazing things. You multiplied it. You made it go further than it could ever have gone. And we just thank you that you are amazing. We thank you that you're with us all the time. We thank you that you want to spend time with us, and we can spend time with you. We thank you for all that you are to us. Amen. Amen. I look forward to seeing you on the Zoom. Bye.